Right now, we don't see a recession. Right now, we're not in a recession right now.
Is a recession in the United States inevitable?
No.
What is exactly the White House's definition of a recession?
Again, I'm not going to define it from here.
How worried should Americans be that we could be in a recession?
We're not going to be in a recession.
Do you want a secure job where you never get fired no matter how horrible you do? Well, join the Biden administration. Hey guys, my name is Jason Wesley, and this is not a podcast.
But it wasn't just the president who got it wrong a year or so ago. I want to play for you what you said about inflation last year. Listen to this.
Is there a risk of inflation? I think there's a small risk, and I think it's manageable. I don't anticipate that inflation is going to be a problem, but it is something that we're watching very carefully.
Was it a mistake, Madam Secretary, to downplay this inflation risk? Did that contribute to the problems we're all seeing right now?
Well, look, I think I was wrong then about the path that inflation would take. As I mentioned, there have been unanticipated and large shocks to the economy that...
Unanticipated? What was unanticipated? Was the pandemic unanticipated? Was the trillions of dollars of spending unanticipated? Was the pullout of Afghanistan unanticipated? And the consequences thereof all unanticipated? All of this were policies pushed by the entire Biden administration. I'm saying top down. Now, just imagine if you or I were this bad at our job to a point where we start changing definitions just to make it fit how horrible we've done. Here's Peter Doocy talking to Karine Jean-Pierre, the horrible White House press secretary, about inflation and about recession and the changing of the definition.
So as you talk about plans on the other side, it was this president's plans that contributed to inflation, right?
No, it was not. It was this president's plan. If we talk about the American Rescue Plan, look, Peter, when the president walked into this administration, there was an economic crisis, there was a COVID crisis, there was a climate change crisis, and we're still dealing with a lot of that right now. But the president turned the economy back on. There were businesses that were closed, schools that were closed, and because of the American Rescue Plan, by the way, no Republican voted for that plan, and that plan had $350 billion for public safety, another thing that Republicans talk about, but they actually don't do, and they don't push forward on a policy that will help our law enforcement. That plan helped put us in a stronger labor market and help make our economy stronger.
The economy's stronger, you see.
It is not the president that has created inflation. There are also outside factors that has led us to where we are today.
If things are going so great, though, then why is it the White House officials are trying to redefine recession?
No, we're not redefining recession.
If we all understand...
What? No, we're not redefining recession. I'll get to that in just a second.
Recession to be 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth in a row, and then you have White House officials come up here to say, no, that's not what a recession is. It's something else. How is that not redefining recession?
Because that's not the definition. That is not the definition.
Brian Deese said in 2008, of course, economists have a technical definition, which is of a recession, which is 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth.
I can tell you this.
Yesterday he said 2 negative quarters of GDP growth is not the technical definition of a recession.
It is
what
not.
changed?
It is not.
Why did he say that
it
was?
is not. I can speak to what he said yesterday in front of all of you, which is the last thing that you just repeated. There are many factors.
How does she still have a job is my question. Now, I'll show you this because we do receipts over here. Whitehouse.gov, on their website, they put, what is a recession? Now, why would you even start out or even put something on your website explaining what a recession is if we're not even close to it? The economy's doing great. What is a recession? While some maintain that 2 consecutive quarters of falling real GDP constitute a recession, that is neither the official definition nor the way economists evaluate the state of the business cycle. Instead, both official determinations of recessions and economists' assessment are based on a holistic look at the data, including the labor market, consumer and business spending, industrial production, and incomes. Based on these data, it is unlikely that the decline in GDP in the first quarter of this year, even if followed by another GDP decline in the second quarter, indicates a recession. You see, it's not us, it's you who don't understand. So if you want a job where you fail upwards, no matter how bad you are at your job, you'll probably get a promotion. Join the Biden administration.